Qatar reportedly reached deal to release some Hamas hostages, including Americans. Live updates show headline hide headline House censures Rashida Tlaib for Israel-Hamas war comments. The House voted late Tuesday to censure Democratic Rep. Rashida Tlaib of Michigan. Qatari and U.S. officials are trying to broker deal between Israel and Hamas to release a dozen or more hostages, including Americans held in Gaza, in exchange for brief ceasefire. Multiple media outlets reported, citing a source AFP said was close to Hamas. Agence France-Presse reported on Wednesday that 6 American hostages were included in the proposed deal. The talks revolve around release 12 hostages, half of them Americans, in exchange for a 3-day humanitarian pause, source told AFP, adding that pause will allow Hamas to release hostages and give Egypt a longer period time, a certain period of time to deliver humanitarian aid. Earlier on Wednesday, AFP said talks were brokered by the Qataris in coordination with U.S. It contained 10-15 hostages but made no mention of nationalities. On Tuesday, Axios reported that Hamas would release 10 to 15 hostages under a proposal being discussed between the United States, Israel and Qatar. A 3-day pause will allow time for the identities all hostages to be verified and for a list of the names those held to be handed over. Axios quoted an unnamed U.S. official. Israeli officials say about 240 hostages are being held by Hamas and other militant groups. Israel has repeatedly rejected demands from the United States and other nations for a humanitarian ceasefire until all hostages are released. The war has been raging since October 7, when Hamas militants crossed the border and killed more than 1,400 Israelis, most of them civilians. Gaza Ministry of Health announced that more than 10,000 Palestinians in Israel's attack on Gaza. Israeli forces deep in Gaza City. Netanyahu open to minor pauses for aid improvements. Proof. The Israeli army said that it extended open time of the corridor so that Gazans in north could move south. Mohsen Abu Zina was an expert in developing strategic weapons and rockets. House of Representatives condemns Rashida Tlaib Lawmaker defends comments about Israel. The Israeli military says it is blocking Hamas terrorist infrastructure by expanding its ground war in Gaza and destroying tunnel shafts, command centers and weapons depots. The army says 130 tunnel shafts have been destroyed since the beginning of the conflict. Military analysts and experts say battle to control and destroy the underground labyrinth, estimated to be more than 300 miles long, will be a key strategy for Israeli military. Hamas leaders say Israel is exaggerating the extent of infiltration, but Israel says special units searched the tunnels for rocket assembly lines, small arms mortar caches. Even Hamas leaders 240 hostages held by Hamas other militant groups. Israeli soldiers claim to have cornered Yahya Sinwar, the most senior Hamas leader.